What's up, good people? Welcome to the Bro Code Show. It's your boy, Mr. Y4C, aka Bro Troy. And tonight's show is sponsored by Tony's Taps and Oyster Company in Cary, North Carolina. Shout out to Kevin and Janelle. We appreciate your support. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please make sure and go get your tickets to Laugh Out Loud Mondays comedy show. It's powered by AOL, Agents of Laughter. It'll be hosted at Tony's Taps and Oyster Company. It'll be a private live show. So bring your wife, girlfriend, mistress, boo thing, cuffing season partner, significant other, or make it a girls or a fellas night out. Either way, it goes down Monday, December the 21st. That's Christmas week. Doors open up at 6 o'clock for dinner, and at 7:15, the comedy show will start. We'll be talking with a few of the comics a little later on in this show, so stay tuned. Now, please purchase your tickets at Eventbrite. The link is in the chat. This will be a social distancing event, and all safety measures will be in place to have a funny good time. A portion of the proceeds will go to the Y4C mentoring program to continue their mission of sparking a growth mindset in our youth, ages 8 to 18. Y4C utilizes evidence-based curriculum to empower and educate youth in social and emotional learning, life skills, and character development. Since 2017, Y4C has impacted over 300 youth individually and over 1,000 people collectively through their three-part programming and several community-driven initiatives. Y4C lives by the motto, change is initiated when change is acknowledged. Now, tonight is all about the bros. We call it the Rehash. We'll be recapping a few past conversations and adding our perspective on Ladies in Leadership Combo. We'll also be sharing transparent moments concerning family during the holiday season and how we personally both or all stay hopeful and helpful during a time when it's easy to get discouraged. So get your seatbelts ready for this one because it's about to go down. Now, for those who have never had a Bro Code experience, Bro Code Show is a live talk show created to discuss, uncover, justify, and dismantle the issues that concern us most as brothers, as a family, and as a community. And we like to give that to you raw, uncut, and real respectful. Now, our greatest desire is to embrace everybody in positive, popular conversation. So, no, we're not in the business of bashing or belittling anyone, but we do believe in being comfortable with having uncomfortable conversations. Why? Because we believe that's where understanding starts. So, as Grandma would say, let's chew the meat and spit out the bone. Real quick, housekeeping things for those that are on Facebook, please like and share this post now. When, Jay? Not now.
Right now.
Right now. That's right. We appreciate you guys, man. Create that ripple effect. Let everybody know about the great, courageous conversations that are happening right here on the Bro Code Show. For those that are in our YouTube family, man, we love and appreciate you guys. Just went over 1,000 subscribers. Let's keep that ripple effect going. Like and share this post right now. Hit that subscribe button and notification so when we go live, you'll know it. Tonight, leave those comments in the comment section. We'll shout you out, let you know that we hear you, listen, and we love you guys. So, real quick, man, JC, I know we're waiting on Bro Kirk, man. He's having operator issues. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But what's good, man? How was your weekend, man? We're getting into the holidays. How you feeling, bro?
Man, week was eventful, to say the least. But my Giants, I like to start out with a toast to the NFC East Division leading football franchise. We're hanging in there pretty tough right now with the Seahawks as we speak. But NC State won, the Giants won. I'm still alive and kicking. It's been a good week.
That's it, man. One day at a time, man. My brother from another mother. He calls himself Mr. You Matter, man. What's good, bro? How was your week, man? Tell me something good.
Man, it was a good week. I was actually traveling all week, so I'm just getting back to this regular routine that we're used to, but it was good.
I could dig that, man. I think back for me, especially when it comes to the holidays, it's always about food for me, man. But I know the whole Turkey Day weekend, we had this thing go on, man, and it's become a meme. It's called Night Night Nate. And I don't know if you guys got a chance to take a look at that. It really did. It really was kind of dope, though, to see some of the heroes that I liked when I was a kid go at it. It did kind of look like those two drunk uncles at the barbecue, nonetheless. But what's your thoughts, bro? You look like your wheels are turning, bro Smith.
Nah, man, I got a chance to meet. Well, you were there too in Vegas last year. Matter of fact, not far from November, October-ish last
Yep,
year. We got a chance to meet Nate
we
Roberts.
met good old Nate. Yeah.
And, he was finishing up a show for the Bleacher Report. Real good guy, man. You know, I was joking on my social media feed. The guy didn't want to smile in my pictures. I thought we had agreed before the photo. This isn't a hardcore mugshot. Let's have a little fun. But no, he didn't want to do that. So I had to get into the meme business. But I'm glad the brother is well. I'm glad. He's not seriously injured. I do acknowledge it takes a lot of guts to get out there in that ring. He trained hard, just didn't go his way. But so hopefully he's not, too disheveled. This too shall pass. But it was funny. All get out. I'll say that much. It was funny.
I would have loved to have been in the fellas, the bro group chat after that. Oh man, if I could have just been a fly on the wall in some of the memes, because you know how we are, man. Like, you know how we are with the fellas. But nonetheless, man, I share those same sentiments. What about you, Kirk, man? What do you think about Night Nate?
You gotta give him kudos for getting in there, man. But I don't know how much he got paid for, but I hope it was a lot, because man, you're never gonna live that one down.
Hey man, I remember seeing a video of what's Creed's name? What's the dude that played Creed?
I should know this. You talking
Michael B. Jordan?
There you go, Michael B. So I remember Michael B. was doing a video, and he did one of his own stunts, and he had to lean into a punch, and it was a repetitious thing. So he kept doing it, and then lean into it, and he really had to knock himself out. And he did that for show. Night Nate. No, that was for real. So all I know is rule number 1 says protect yourself at all times, man. Much love to you, Nate, brother. Thanks for taking the picture. Hopefully next time you smile. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, man, just to catch up everyone on, we had an opportunity to talk with some awesome female leaders last month. We spoke with some leaders across career sectors like education, engineering and STEM, law and order, broadcasting, and even journalism. It was good to hear from such strong female voices. But you know what, fellas, what really impressed me, like with all the great minds, with all of the letters upon letters upon letters behind their names, all of them were down to earth.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? My grandma used to say, man, don't be so heavenly minded that you are no earthly good. And, being authentically you without reservation, man, is not always an easy task. And it really felt good. But, what did you guys think about the conversation? What do you think, Jay?
Well, I thought it was awesome to speak with all of the ladies. They each were passionate, to say the least, about the work that they do. Dr. Pam had talked at length about having a servant-minded heart, and you could truly see that she loved the work that she was doing. Dr. Swagger, it's a self-proclaimed 4-time college graduate, all sorts of accolades behind her name. But she acknowledged that she uses the challenges and adversity that she faces as a superpower. I thought that was pretty cool, in which case she acknowledged that adversity can only stop you when you don't know you're the head, not the tail, and are created for greatness. And an individual's purpose is greater than their credentials. I thought that they all each spoke power to truth in regards to their words and their actions, and it was a conversation that will stick with me for a good bit.
Yeah, man. How about you, Kurt?
So JC stole my answer, which was passion. But I'm gonna jump into that for a second. I just thought that each of them shared their steps to their story in such an authentic way, and I really liked that. I thought that this was a year where women had representation in all kind of different ways, and so to hear their stories, especially from the educational standpoint, and then Beth Tanner with going into trying to be a district court judge and being honest about her background, I thought it was great.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I know, fellas, we always talk about transparency being a superpower. And for me, it wasn't until marriage that I understood that. And so long it was keeping things in. So I really thought that was dope. And being able to show that. Now, definitely, we can't overlook the queen. Now I know y'all remember Dr. Paulette Walker now. So, JC, I think you wrote this one down, bro. I think she said, and correct me if I'm wrong, never let your passions outweigh your purpose. Is that right?
No, that's right. That's right. Passion For one, you got to know the difference between your passion and your purpose, so that it can make it easier to do the things that you're passionate about without burning yourself out. It can also guide you towards your true purpose. What I thought was cool from her statement was that, when you follow your passion, you're doing it more often than not because it feels good. It's something that you deeply enjoy, even if it means putting yourself before others who really need it. Now where passion can have selfish elements, purpose, in my opinion, isn't selfish. Purpose isn't always about other people. It involves serving others, but it's not servitude. It's feeling joyful about creating joy, if that makes any sense. So, so not letting your passions outweigh your purpose basically means to me that, although you might have a great bit of joy in the work that you do, you want to make sure that you're grounded towards your destiny, so to speak, and putting it in all to perspective.
I can dig that, man. I like that, man. I had to write that one down, Joy. Being joyful about creating joy. That's good, man. That's good. I think I see a T-shirt there. We're gonna hashtag that one.
Yeah, let's get that one.
I like that. What'd you think, Kurt?
No, I love it. I have 3 older daughters, so seeing women that are strong like that and passionate about everything they do, I was able to pass some of those stories on to my daughters. So I really enjoyed the conversation.
I think that's a great point, man. I too, my middle child, Kayamani, speaking of such, I love you, Kayamani. She, I want to ask you this question, and I'll touch on it too, Kurt, but you just said you have older daughters, right? And we talk about this thing called reflective representation. And I'm curious, man, they're a little bit older. What are their thoughts? Like, how does that reflect on them as older females, older Black females, and now some of the things that are happening to speak truth to power as it pertains to female leadership? And how does that resonate with them, Kurt?
It's great. We actually just had this conversation yesterday. My oldest daughter's 25. She's actually a general manager at the airport, and she said, I felt confirmed on my steps in my path just from seeing other women in leadership at high levels. My second daughter just graduated from App State, and she said she struggled her whole life with seeing women in leadership positions, and now seeing it at the forefront, she says she feels so much better about going on to what she wants to do in her life. So that representation does matter.
Oh boy.
Oh, I'm that guy again. My fault. Yeah, for those that are checking in, you're here the Rehash, man. The fellas are talking about here at the Bro Code, a couple past conversations, female leadership, and how that's reflected in our own lives, a couple personal stories. But this is a great example of why conversations and the demand for equity must continue. You talk about being confirmed and sometimes struggling because we don't see those things as far as from the testimony of your daughter's, Kurt. And tonight we have a special guest who wants to share her experience and thoughts surrounding the voice of women in leadership. Tonight we have Kate Davis. Kate was born in Boulder, Colorado, and moved to Durham, North Carolina in the early 90s and eventually graduated from Apex High School and attended, yes, JC, North Carolina State University. So after undergrad, Kate spent time in the tech and engineering field as well as the financial investment sector. Kate has always had a passion for helping people, sometimes to a fault. Kate currently serves as the executive director at Fuquay Varina Chamber of Commerce. Kate's proudest title is that of mom, which is of 2 wonderful boys. So, fellas, help me welcome to the show Miss Kate Davis. Kate, what's good? How you feeling?
Hi, guys. I'm good. How are y'all?
I'm good. Glad to have you, man. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Well, I'm going to jump into some questions, Kate, if you don't mind here.
Hit me. I'm ready.
Well, in your bio, you mentioned being helpful to a fault. I'm curious if you could tell us a little bit more about how that plays out in your life.
Sure. I think this is something a lot of women can relate to. I think for me, it really came to light with the people pleasing, right? I think I have spent most of my life trying to make everybody else around me very comfortable, making sure that their experience, whatever the situation was good. to the detriment of my own quite often. What I'm learning the older I get is that if you are not whole, you can't give pieces of yourself away. So being able to really focus on making sure I'm grounded, I'm putting me first so that I can continue to help and give to others. It's a challenge because if you're a giver, you tend to want to put everybody else ahead of yourself, right? And that's when you end up finding out pretty quickly that you're tapped out. You hit that empty pretty quickly if you're not putting yourself first and you're not putting more into you, or as much into you as you put out into the world.
That's pretty cool, Kurt. I think you have a shirt right there. If you're not whole, you can't give pieces of yourself away. That's dope.
Mm-hmm. You're welcome. I got a couple of those. So.
Okay, thank you.
You know I don't have a problem stealing content, by the way. Kate, welcome. Kate, so during our ladies in leadership conversation, a couple of times it was mentioned that sometimes they felt unworthy and that they had this like negative self-talk in their head. And we dug into that, but we'd love to hear from you if that's something that you've experienced on your journey to your current position, both professionally or personally.
Sure. And I think, obviously, or maybe not obviously for you guys, I'm new here, but personal and professional overlap with me. There's a blend. There's not a balance in life. There's just a blend. But I will say that professionally, and I actually looked this up to make sure I could get it right. So forgive me, I'm going to look at this. Abby Wambach has a quote that has really hit me. Imperfect men have been empowered and permitted to run the world since the beginning of time. It's time for imperfect women to grant themselves permission to join them. Perfection is not a prerequisite of leadership, but we can forgive ourselves for believing it is. So when I get stuck in that place at work, especially where I'm thinking, wow, somebody else could do this better, right? And especially, maybe there's a man out there that could do this better, that has more experience than I do, any of that, I fall back to that quote. And I say, I've been a perfectionist my entire life, which is, again, something I'm trying to quit. But that quote really helps me, because if we're able to say it's okay to be imperfect, you're not paralyzed. Perfection is paralyzing. When you're looking for perfect, you often don't get to the end result at all, and for me especially, it was, well, I might not even try it if I can't do it perfectly. And I think I personally missed out on a lot of opportunities, being stuck in that mindset. Now, personally, and this, like I said, translates to professionally as well, but it's a moment to moment thing for me. So you talk about overcoming this kind of, battle. I don't think you do necessarily, or at least my experience hasn't been that. I think it's a moment to moment, how am I handling this right now? I may be feeling overwhelmed, or I may feel like, I'm not doing a good enough job, but that's when you take stock and say, well, let's take it back a minute. Let's remember the quote. Let's, kind of redirect that energy a little bit. But it is a constant battle. And I think that's okay. It's okay to say, I don't have the perfect mindset all the time. Again, I'm not always, where I want to be, but it's a constant battle, and you just keep pushing. And every day it's getting a little bit easier to shut that negative self-talk down. Basically, you hear it pop up and you say, I'm not listening to that right now. That's not true. That's not a truth. It's simply a thought.
I love it, man. Who's checking in? Jalen, I see you. Jalen says, amazing conversation so far. Appreciate you checking in, Jalen. Also have Ruth. What up, Ruth? She says, perfection is not a prerequisite for leadership. Good stuff. You got 3. I think those are claps. Are those claps or fists? I don't know what they are. Thank you for that, Ruth. I appreciate them emojis. Ruth, I think you said tell the truth. She was talking about you, Kate. I mean, I think fingers were snapping. It says tell the truth. If you are not wild, you can't give pieces to everyone else. If you are not whole, you can't give pieces to everyone else. We feel you, Ruth. So, Kate, I once read a quote. You said something. It says, I can't tell you the key to success, but the key to failure is trying to please everyone. And it's so true. We get so wrapped up in this or that. Not that we can't be kind, right? I love your hashtag earlier when you were promoting the show. You put on there kind and strong. You can have both, right? And I think that's really dope. So, Okay, we've had some conversations in the past. I remember in one of those past conversations, you used the phrase living out loud. And that resonated like deep down in my soul. And I can really, being your authentic self and choosing to walk boldly is not always easy for everyone, and being okay with the skin that you live in. But what does that phrase mean to you? When you talk about living out loud, what does that mean to you, Kate?
Sure. Well, you hit on it, Troy. It's authenticity, right? There's some quote, and it's liquor related, so I have not committed it to memory, but basically it's about being 100 proof and not watering yourself down. And I think we go back to the perfection, we go back to people pleasing. It's really just being you in any situation at any given time, and not questioning who you are in those moments. For example, I'm loud. My voice carries. And this is something people have told me my entire life. And I used to take it as a negative. It almost felt like an insult, like, oh, I should be quiet. I should be quieter. And then I finally realized, no, this is me. And this is actually a bonus for me. This is a good thing. I can stand in front of a crowd. I don't need a microphone. Y'all will hear me in the back. But it translates to so much more. It really is about being you. I mean, I have tattoos that are visible that I show at work. I have a really ridiculously bright blue truck. And I bought it and had this moment of, well, people are going to think I'm looking for attention, right? Like that concern instantly about what other people think. And it's no, I love this thing. Every time I see that, it brings me joy. So that's what it's about. It's about finding the things that bring you joy, that make you who you are, and not being apologetic about putting it out there in the world. Wonder Woman style. Thank you.
And the bracelet. Go ahead, if you're just checking in, you're here with the Bro Coach Show. We're doing the rehash. We're talking about some past conversations. Ladies in leadership, we have a special guest, Ms. Kate Davis of Fuquay Verena. And please like and share this post now. So we're going to change it up just a little bit, fellas and lady. We have this segment called Would You Rather? This is for everybody, okay? Encourage all the viewers that are listening right now, chime in. We'd love to hear what your thoughts are on this Would You Rather question. So, would you rather never have to wait in line or always have a parking spot? I'll say it again. Would you rather never have to wait in line or always have a parking spot? Now, ladies first.
I knew you were going to do that.
Yeah.
I did.
I
knew it was coming.
As much as possible, So.
Oh, it's terrible too. Because I had a question to the first, or an answer to the first ladies in leadership question. This one's harder, and I don't do well with always. I'll just let you know, I'm a Pisces. We are conditional people. It's subjective. It's, well, wait, where am I waiting in line? Where are the parking spaces? So I think I'd have to say probably the parking, because that's the original stress. It's like, how do I even get in where I'm going? So I'll go with that one.
Okay. Well, what you think, Kurt? Would you rather never have to wait in line again or never have to worry about a parking spot?
So this one's easy for me. I Uber all the time, so I'm not parking anyway. But now I'm not standing in lines. Life is good. Easy.
I could dig that. Okay. How about you, Bro Smith?
Well, I have what I like to call a superpower when it comes to parking spaces. I watched this movie and read the book, The Secret, with Law of Attraction. You kind of envision the things that you want to happen, and it just happens. But anywhere I go, and people will tell you this, if you ride with me, we're going to get the first or second spot, no matter what, wherever we go. Doesn't matter. I went to the mall today, first spot in the mall on a Sunday around Christmas. It's magic. So I just don't like waiting in line, to your conditions, Kate. I think at Disney World and getting that fast pass one year changed my life. Whatever I have to do to get a fast pass again, I will get it. I don't care who I have to lose. I'm getting that fast pass again. So that will be my answer.
Well, obviously it's called the Bro Code for a reason, man. Jay, I share the same sentiments, brother. My logic was I need to get my steps in. Even if I did have to park far, wherever I'm going into, it can't take me no more than a minute to get inside. Now I do think about weather. However, whether I park in the front or whether I park all the way in the back, it's still raining. However, when I get inside, I thought about Great Adventure and having to wait 3 hours to get into a roller coaster. So no, I would take never having to wait in line again. I don't mind parking far. I need to get some steps in anyway. So that was my logic towards that one. But hey, man, we love to hear it. I think, what did Jalen say? Jalen says always having a parking spot so I could get there early. At least I wouldn't have to pay. I didn't think about it from a payments perspective, but okay, I like your logic. I can dig that. So, Kirk, I think you up next, man.
Absolutely. So, Kate, first of all, we want to thank you for joining us and sharing your authentic thoughts. How can people connect with you, Kate?
Oh, I feel like I'm very easy to find. Social media, email. It's pretty easy. Fuquay Marina Chamber of Commerce. You can follow us on Facebook. We actually have 2 different pages. We have a membership page. It's called The Dashboard, where all of our members can post their information as well. But yeah, you can find me there. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Instagram and Facebook. Although Facebook, not so much these days. I took that thing off my phone for a reason. But I do love to jump in there and share when I have something worthwhile.
Absolutely. Well, Kate, we definitely appreciate you joining us. We look forward to connecting after the holidays so we can continue to serve the great people of Fuquay Varina area. Now, fellas, we got some big things coming up, partnering with the AOL Agents of Laughter Entertainment to present the first LOL Mondays comedy show hosted at Tony's Tap and Oyster Restaurant in Cary on Monday, December the 21st. Doors open up for dinner at 6 p.m. and the show starts at 6 p.m. as well. Kate, I hope you have an opportunity to connect with us on that. If not, please share it. We look forward to connecting with you soon. You take care, okay?
Will do. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you.
Awesome. Well, fellas, we definitely want to talk with a few of the comics. Hopefully we'll get a chance to connect with them a little bit later on. But I'm wondering, man, how do you guys feel about Christmas, man? Like, obviously, as a kid, it hit a little bit different. But I have to ask, man, if we could take it to a personal level, what is one of your fondest memories for Christmas? I'll go first since I asked, right? Mm-hmm. So, with me, I've always been, grew up with my grandparents, single mom. We grew up in a house in Sayreville, New Jersey, and it was a tri-level house. And I remember right now, all the kids want that PS5. 1200? No, I don't think so. Well, with that being said, my first system, I know I'm dating myself, was Nintendo. I'll never forget, man, I was probably about 10, 11 years old. We're talking about early 90s. And that was the year that I had chicken pox for Christmas. Like calamine lotion everywhere, man. And nobody wanted to let me touch anything. I'm scratching and heaving and upset. But that was the year that year I got my first Nintendo. Had the little gun for Duck Hunt, had the glove for Mike Tyson's Punch Out. And I remember my aunt and my mom, they didn't put it in a box and wrap it up. They called themselves being slick, and they're going to hook it up to the TV. And so, needless to say, while I was in the bed sick, they were up all night playing Mario Brothers, the original Mario Brothers. And I remember waking up the next morning and going straight to the TV, but they wouldn't let me touch it. So I had to watch them play. Because they're like, no, you can't touch it because we go get sick too. So my first experience of my brand new system was actually having to watch somebody else play it, man. And that was heartbreaking as a child. Clearly, right? But what about yourself, man? What was some of your fondest memories of the holidays?
Well, for me, man, I probably have to go way back to where I still had that, childlike innocence of Christmas. And I recall, being 9, 10, 11, and, my nephew would be over at the house, family would be over the house. And, the night before you're dreaming about all the stuff you hear in the stories, Santa coming down the chimney and, whether I believed it or not, I fed into the spirit. I didn't want to ruin it for my nephew. And, it was just cool waking up that day and, waking up the family. And for me, it although the gifts were nice, looking back, I don't ever think it was really about the gifts because, to this day, it's, family doesn't exchange too many gifts now, but my best Christmases are those ones where we're just together. We don't get a chance to see each other all that much, and with everything happening in 2020, just that spirit of togetherness and valuing, the relationship that you have with family more so than what I'm getting for someone, carries a little bit more weight these days. So, but fondest experience would be, Christmas. Didn't really get, a ton of things that I can even remember. I just remember the feeling, waking up, waking everybody else up, the hot chocolate in the morning, and just the smiles on people's faces.
Yeah, I can dig that. What about you, Kurt?
So a couple of things. My first system was the Atari. That was a big deal back then, man. Like hours and hours on that game system. I agree with Brother Smith though. Especially getting older, the experience for us growing up, we would all go to my grandmother's house. She had 6 kids and all the grandkids, so we all be at one house. And as I think back, man, the experience of just eating and hanging out. It wasn't a lot of gifts at the time. I don't know why, but at this point now, man, it's like Christmas for me is just spending time with family and friends, man. I don't have to get any presents, and I'm trying to pass that on to my kids. That's really not the reason for the season, and I think family and friends is.
Yeah, I can really dig that, Kurt, man. Obviously, you gain more chapters of life. It hits a little bit different. I know for you, I'm sure you share the same sentiments. I have a 6-year-old and you have a grandson, and really to see the smile on his face and really share some of that joy. I think you talked about it earlier, Jay, and put it on that new T-shirt. We'll speak that into existence. Being joyful about creating joy. You know what I mean? And that's our new hashtag. So yeah, I can really dig that, man. And being able to give some of those same things that I remember as a kid on to someone else, whether that be through blood or through purpose, and really being able to share that, man. So, wanted to have that joy and have that laughter is similar to what we're looking to do for Laugh Out Loud Mondays. We want to change the perspective of how people look, not just at the beginning of the week, but as holidays, put some joy back into the world for this thing that we call 2020, which will probably be a category on Jeopardy soon, because I'm sure there'll be plenty of what was 2020 questions. But with that being said, man, we've got the host of that show, man. He goes by the name of Genius Jones. He's a brother from another mother. He's part of our leadership team, and we've got him here tonight. We also got the big homie Musa, man, who is going to be the grand opening, grand closer for the Laugh Out Loud Mondays, man. So we want to bring the fellas on the line, man, and see what they're talking about, man. I know they got a little bit of funny in them. Genius.
Yeah! Hey, we're here.
What's good, brother? How you feeling, man?
Hey, man, not too bad, man. Well, just paid rent not too many days ago, so I'm a little low on that. But other than that, man, everything going good.
That's what's up, man. So you're gonna be the host for Laugh Out Loud Mondays, man. What can we expect from Genius Jones?
Oh, you can always expect that good energy, man. We're gonna laugh and have a good time. You can always expect that good energy, man. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be in the crowd, so you could be a victim. Anybody be a victim. I'm not sure who that's gonna be, but yeah, just come prepared. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you brush your teeth. Make sure your clothes are ironed. You don't bring any attention to yourself, and you'll be fine. That's the disclaimer.
I can dig that, man. I certainly can dig that. I appreciate it. I think we got the big homie Moose on the line too, man. Let me see what we got here. Moose, what's good, man? I don't know,
man.
If you're not there. What you all right?
I'm in a tunnel right now, man.
I thought he was in sunken place.
I was about to say, man. I was like, okay, is this what we have to expect?
Nah. I'm gonna do my show from in the car. I'm
in the car. Okay. So you doing the new Jay-Z? You gonna call it the blackout?
I see.
Yeah.
Hey, am I breaking up real bad? Can y'all hear me on trash?
Well, I can hear you, man. We just can't see you, man. We gonna put you backstage till we get you right.
You don't have lights in your car, bro? Like,
yeah. Is there a dome light?
I do, but I'm saying though, dude, I'm black. I don't want to draw any attention to myself while I'm driving.
Or something.
I think this was part of the show or something.
Too visible.
He's on there. He's actually there. You on there? He's on there. Okay.
I'll be the first black man to get shot for being too visible. That's what I'm scared of right now.
you might not be the first on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be. There was probably a stagecoach back in the day. Somebody got pulled over. Stagecoach lit.
So he must got something in the car he don't want us to see.
Man,
You know what I'm saying?
nah. A white.
Yeah.
So Genius Jones, I ain't calling no grown man delicious. So we gotta know how you come up with the name Genius Jones.
Man, I was just sitting thinking one day, man, and I wanted to think of a word that describes me, like, but opposite. You know, because
Yeah,
I
I was
wanted
about
opposite role because I wasn't a genius, but I wanted to be the opposite of what I really was. But I was not thinking of the name. I was like, hey man, what's the opposite of really dumb? And I said, okay, genius. So I took the name and I ran with that, man, and it really kind of stuck. And people always think book smart, but I think I'm smart in other ways. You know what I'm saying? Creativity. So I like to do my creative smart, my creative genius. It don't have nothing to do with books, man. I don't know how many books I've read. I don't got nothing, do nothing with math, none of that. It's strictly creativity. So don't ask me no hard questions when you see me. I don't know any hard words, any words that are complex. I just know creative. That's it.
That's dope, man. I mean, you certainly are creative. It's every skit, every video seems to come from a whole other place, man. Where do you think your inspiration comes from for your artwork and the work that you do?
And really just probably most of my own experience. Doing a lot of messing up myself and just seeing so many of the funny things that go on naturally and just you know what I'm saying? And just redoing that over again. My own touch, man. So that's really what it's coming from. Like seeing my aunts and everybody grow up around me and like using them and just exaggerating a little bit and bring a little more character out of them. But really that's where it comes from, man. My own life. I think that's when you do it like that.
I really love the work that or the podcast that you and your wife have, man.
Oh
As
yeah.
far as the love goals, relationship goals, and just
Yeah.
where you guys came from to where you're at now.
Show my
It's
side. Don't talk about that. We didn't know we were gonna talk about that. We talk about comedy, John. Don't talk
I mean, hey, it's funny though.
Gotta show my heart out here. I gotta show my heart in here.
Well,
We got a glimpse of Mooster. He does have dome lights in his car. Okay.
Oh yeah. Had that. You see that right here? Y'all see that? Y'all see this right here though? Y'all see that though? Hey.
Troy, when they start calling it a dome light, this dome light, I don't know what is that like? Is that a thing or is I missing
What's what?
a
The dome
dome light?
lights?
Oh, yeah, what is a dome light?
It's a
Those
farm,
are the
bro.
lights
It's a
in your
farm.
car. I thought that was
So
no.
they call them dome lights.
I thought
On
so.
my car it is, Now normal cars got the regular joints. I got them imported right there, baby. Them
Okay, yeah,
imported
dome.
right there.
No, I didn't know that. I was like, what's this dome light word? But okay.
Well, hey, we got to even out some of this testosterone. On the bill, we also have this young lady by the name of Brandy Roberts. She's coming to bring the funny too. So we're gonna even this out a little bit, man. Brandy, what's good, man?
How are you? How are you?
So, we got Genius in the house. We got Moose in the house. He has dome lights. It's exclusive. But
Talk to him.
you're going to be on the bill too, Brandy. So what can we expect from Brandy Roberts when it comes to Laugh Out Loud Mondays?
You can expect from me some crazy energy, a raw new perspective that you never heard from before, and a whole mesh of different representation. That's it. A good time, I hope.
I'm curious, man. I know Kirk asked Genius this, man, but where does you guys' inspiration come from, man? Like, we talk about being funny, man. A lot of people think they funny, but where does your inspiration come from? Like the things that you talk about. Genius talked about personal, and I'm sure it's probably the same for a number of us, right? Who better to talk about us than us? But I'm curious, man. Like, what does that inspiration come from as far as comedy? Brandy, I want to hear from you first.
So comedy kind of has been like my saving grace for my life. I've been through a lot of things in life, and I knew that I was using funny or being funny or humor to cope before I even knew I was being a comedian funny, if that makes sense. Like I was timing jokes in my head before I was writing. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, I can make you laugh like this, and I'm like, doing set up my friend's punchline. You laugh, oh, I got you. Already thinking like a comedian, but not actually chasing the comedian dream until like I dropped out of college. So it was kind of like, you know, you don't really have anything else to lose. I mean, at least do it for some form of therapy, you know, as it's always been for you. And then it ended up being like, okay, I wasn't funny in the beginning, let's be honest. I don't think I'm really that funny now, but I got some jokes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm having fun. You feel me? Like, it's cool. But, like, I don't know. Like, it's always just been that for me. But then, like, seeing others make a living out of it, it was like, okay, that changed my perspective on it. Like, maybe this can be a stream of income. And then when I started doing it and then it started becoming real, it was like, okay, yeah, walk into your purpose.
I can dig that for sure. What about you, Musa? What's good, man? How did this thing become the creation it is now? Where I saw a skit you did, man, where you were talking about the mask being the new sex, the new sexy when the
Heck yeah, man.
man.
Now my whole thing, man, I just perspective, bro. Like all my jokes come from perspective, what I see, because I try to be original, man. Am I breaking up? Can y'all hear me pretty well? I'm about to pull over, so I'm waiting for my exit. Then I'm gonna pull over, man. And then, yeah, man, just everything I see, I try to put my perspective on it, just that way to stay original and whatnot, man. But what inspired me to do jokes was to take comedy serious with this chick named Brandy Inez. She I was doing radio for 2 years. She came to promote a comedy show. And me and her just bouncing jokes back and forth. She was like, yo, you funny. You should come on and host my show. I went on and hosted it, man. And I after that, I felt like I quit radio. Like I was done. This is what it is. And that's what it's been so far. You know, the comedy's been really good to me, man. I'll be honest. It gave me purpose. It gave me purpose. Aside from having a son, it gave me purpose, bro. I'm happy to be here.
That's what's up, man. We hear that word over and over again, purpose. Right, you know, I think Kate just left Brandy, but she said, "Love it, Brandy. Find out who you are and do it on purpose. Walk in purpose, on purpose daily, and be genuine.
Come through word. Come through word.
Right here. Yeah, that's what it is, though. So, genius, man. I want to bring it back to you, man. Like, John hit it on, bro. Smith hit on it earlier. Musa, you said it too, bro. Like, you know, and even you, Brandy, was like, okay, well, I thought I was doing what I was doing, but then I said I realized that won't it. Yeah. You know, and some people would look at that as failure, but what that was potentially a springboard for you to jump into your purpose.
Yeah.
And you know, there's nothing more fierce than somebody that got their back against their wall, because you said you ain't got nothing to lose.
But,
like, ain't nowhere to go.
Like
what up from here?
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I want to hear what you got to say.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say, but we gotta remember, like, no matter what we do in this life, it's always some level of service. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta be of a servant heart and mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how you gotta go into it. That's how you gotta stay fresh and hungry. Like, so if you view it like that, then you're always gonna have fun. You know what I'm saying? Once you realize what it is that you're good at, that comes to you, that makes you feel secure, then yeah. You know what I'm saying? You can do whatever it is. Just know that you gotta have that faith and the action behind it, but it'll work. It'll work.
I can dig that.
I got a question for each one of you. I mean, I'm curious, who is your favorite comedian? You know, and why?
This question is always hard.
Hey, do me last. My exit coming up. Do me last.
All right, I'll get you last. So, Brandy, ladies first. Why don't you hit us with your response then?
See, it's hard to choose a favorite, like one, but like if I had to choose one, yeah, like overall, like that I like, it would be neck and neck between Dave Chappelle and Cat Williams, because they the same but on opposite sides of the spectrum. You know what I'm saying? Like, Dave Chappelle is well known, but Cat Williams underground well known. You know what I'm saying? But they both like are round for round funny. You know what I'm saying? Like their perspectives are unmatched. They challenge the status quo, and they don't care what you fucking think. Excuse me if I can say that. You know what I'm saying? We just, but they don't care. They don't care, and it's like. And then it would be like Bernie Mac next, because he that same way in your face, but it was always real and authentic, So yeah, those would be my three. But yeah, it's still more to that. Like it's so many comedians that aren't even famous that people know that are like legends that like teach you things along the way. So that's always a hard question to answer. But I'm curious to see what they say.
Okay, well, genius. Who was yours?
So, at this time right now, I would say like because when you do comedy and stuff like that, you kind of and I've been watching Moose's videos. Like you kind of like study it differently. But I would say right now, I like David Arnold. I like Mike Epps, Cat Williams, and Bill Burr.
Hey.
Yeah, but right now,
Bill Burr,
yeah, Bill Burr's,
Yeah, Bill made some people mad his last appearance, but every appearance he gets somebody riled up.
He do does.
Yeah.
Well, Musa, we saved you for last, man. You got your answer yet?
I thought I was gonna make it to my exit, bro, but I did not. It's coming up, man. Hey, y'all, all guys. Hey, if you in the relationship, you understand. It's my turn to cook tonight, so I had to get on the road and go get this food, because me and the girl be bouncing back and forth on cook nights, and Sunday my night, so I had to go get it. I'm sorry, guys.
You on a long road. You've been on this road for like 15 minutes, man.
Nah, I need my bragging rights. I need bragging rights to this. I'm gonna.
Apple pie night tonight. Gotcha.
She's staying in Wilson. I stay in Greenville, so I had to drive down to her spot and cook the food. So we just rocking like that. I got a good one though, so it ain't nothing. Ain't nothing, guys.
All right.
We can hear you. You clear? Still got pull over.
I'm putting over this food line, bro. But I can go ahead into mine, man. To be honest with you, I'm a sponge when it comes to comedy. So I watch a lot. Even comedians I don't like, I try to watch just to see what people see in them. You know what I mean? I will watch comedians that necessarily aren't funny to me, like Amy Schumer, for instance. And I'm just like, yo, what is it about her that people gravitate towards? And that's not a diss or anything. But my favorite comedian right now, and mine goes in phases. Like most comedians, you will binge watch one comedian for months just to really try to tap into how they think. You know what I mean? And right now, and for the last 2 or 3 years, I've been listening to Patrice O'Neal nonstop. Like that's my favorite comedian right now in this moment. Just because, to me, I think him, Dave Chappelle, Bill Burr, and a few other, George Carlin, they get to a place in comedy where you bridge from being a comedian to being a philosopher.
Yeah.
And the philosophy, and this is like the pinnacle of comedy. Like my ultimate goal is to inform and entertain you. Of course, making you laugh is paramount. That's what you should always try to do. But if I can make you laugh and walk away knowing me a little better, or make you laugh and walk away making you feel a little different about racial equality or being a black man, like doing comedy for me is extremely easy. I live in Greenville, y'all. That's a predominantly white town. College kids, they're dying to hear the black man's perspective about anything. The brown eye perspective is so powerful where I come from, because they're like, yo, how do black guys feel about politics? How do black guys feel about Trump? And I get a chance to really get up there, and I'm hearing nothing because they really want to hear. They tapped into what I gotta say.
Yep.
And I like to say this. I mean, with somebody like Patrice O'Neal, I feel like he can introduce a concept. Like he's like, yo, if your wife leave you right now, what would you miss? Like she's useless. You know what I mean? And he would say something like that. And of course, you get the groans and moans. But then he would start to break it down in a way that even a woman can see from her perspective how he can think like that. And I think that being able to introduce the idea and slowly sway you to think the way I think while making you laugh and also making sense, to me, that's the pinnacle. Like Patrice is your comic's favorite comic. Like Bill Burr is your comic's favorite comic. And that's why I am with it, because I see a lot of comedians, and I'm sorry guys, I'm all over the place right now. my mother, when I first started doing comedy, the only advice my mom ever gave
Now
me
you
was like,
dropping gems though. Go
yeah,
ahead.
my mom was like, yo, don't be a clown. That was the only thing she ever said. To this day, it's the only thing, don't be a clown. So don't go up there and make a fool of yourself. Like, go up there and say something. And like, Genius Jones gonna find it now when he on stage. Brandy already knows it. Once you get past that point of knowing you're funny, now what are you talking about? A lot of comedians don't. I'm funny. I know I'm funny, but now what am I talking about, bro? Like, what am I saying that people are gonna walk away from? Like, yo, big breath. Where the big booty hoes at? Where the chicks with no money? What bad credit? Like all these topical things that black people mention. What am I like? Yo, I got a whole 10 minutes about growing up with roaches and how they humble me. Like, it's just like stuff like that. It's like, yo, what are you saying? What are you taking and you went through personally, and people can see that and see how that made you who you are. Or take that and see how that could affect them and make them a better person. And that's why, that's why I love Patrice so much, because I feel like he taps into that, like, wow, bro. Like you preaching, right? You know what I mean? Like you making me look at the world in a way that make me feel like I could do it too. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, God. I got a fool line. So I was tapped in right then.
All right, Jay-Z. Got Pinnacle going on. Okay.
Well, now let's go. Appreciate you sharing.
I like that one. Patrice, I never would have thought
Patrice,
that.
I like Patrice O'Neal as well, man. I could dig that, man. Everybody can't get with him, but when it comes to perspective, your perspective matters, right? So I could dig that, Musa. I appreciate that.
Always. I'm always appreciating my Patrice from the it's called Tribal White Phillip. That's what they call us, Patrice fans. Black Phillip, I mean.
Well, I want to share, we had this segment, y'all talked, Would You Rather, right? So, you guys are comics, and, with comics, you share your pain, basically. You're able to put yourself on Front Street to make others laugh and to be able to do it in a funny, unique way. And I think that's dope. Everybody can't. Everybody doesn't have that heart. So I respect that. But for the would you rather question, and this is for everybody, even for our listeners, man, please chime in. I'm curious, would you rather watch your most embarrassing childhood moment on a 1-hour loop every month? Or would you rather once every day for the rest of your life?
Repeat that. What every day for the rest of your life?
Repeat that again. Can you repeat the whole thing?
I got you. So would you rather watch your most embarrassing childhood moment on a 1-hour loop once a month, every month? Or would you rather once every day for the rest of your life? So when you think about your most embarrassing childhood moment, right? Whatever that is, I got one. I don't mind sharing. So I'm gonna say the question again, but I'm gonna share my most embarrassing childhood moment. So I was probably about 9, man. I caught myself, trying to practice martial arts. I remember there was a show called a movie called Last Dragon. Everybody wanted to glow. I thought I was Bruce Leroy. So with that being said, man, I had a balloon up in Jersey. On the front was a big concrete slab. Remember, you go get a balloon for like Valentine's Day, birthday. They put a little bell on the bottom of it to hold the balloon down so it doesn't fly away. Well, that balloon out there on this concrete slab was my target, and I had just learned a roundhouse kick. You couldn't tell me nothing. So I thought I was going to roundhouse kick this balloon, and I was going to show all my friends on this concrete slab. Well, it was going good all until I landed and my foot hit the little bell at the bottom when I landed. And needless to say, my feet slid from underneath me and my face met concrete. And that's when I knew that I had messed up. Needless to say, my 2 front teeth had went through, and there's a scar below me, right underneath my nose. There's a keloid. You can't see it because of my mustache, but if I ever shaved my mustache off, you could. But that was a reminder of that day to never, ever, ever, ever again So that was my most embarrassing childhood moment. So the question is, would you rather watch your most embarrassing childhood moment on a 1 hour loop every month, or remember it every day for the rest of your life? Kirk, I ain't heard from you in a while, man. So I'm curious. What you think about that one, Kirk?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with once a day. I don't want to see it on loop. I was in high school and I wasn't as cool and confident as the person y'all see today. And I fell through a door window in front of everybody. Like, that was like a couple of years. I couldn't live that down. So yeah, definitely just once a day, man.
Yeah, if when it comes to high school or anything dealing with classmates, I can only imagine, Kirk. That sounds like something you see in a movie. Yeah. What you think, bro? Once every day, or a 1 hour loop every month? Your most embarrassing childhood moment.
I probably take that loop, man. I mean, I don't know if this is my most embarrassing, but I recall a day where I had gotten this bike. You know, it's a bike I always wanted. It had a cool little shield in front of it, looked like a police bike. And I hadn't had that bike probably more than 3-4 days. And I'm riding up and down my neighborhood, and this kid comes up to me. He's like, "Oh man, it's a cool bike." I was like, "Yeah, man, thanks, appreciate it." And he's like, "You mind if I, just try it out, see, ride it for a little bit?" And I'm just gonna go up here and come right back. Like, "Hey, you seem trustworthy." I never met this kid, man. I was gullible as all hell, and this kid got on the bike, and he came back, then he went back again, and I'm like, "Hey man, you going a little far," and dude never came back with my bike, right? And I got to go back and tell my parents, who I knew how much this bike cost, that. I think I just got robbed. I think this dude just.
Where was you living at, Jason? You was up top or you down here?
Now this is in Jersey. This is in Jersey. I went looking for this kid. Me and my boy, and my bike never got found, and it was a lesson learned. So if I had to see that on a loop every hour, it would teach me a little valuable lesson on. You can't trust everybody.
Hey.
What about you, genius?
I think I'd say probably be the loop. I said loop, man.
Do you want to share one of your moments?
Yeah, I'm kind of in the process of turning that into material, but let's just say I had a shark attack in high school. Little shark.
Shark. He started. Was this in class?
Yeah, it was in class.
Oh man.
The teacher wouldn't let me go to the bathroom out there for some reason. He wouldn't let me go to the bathroom. And I was trying to get out the bathroom before everybody started smelling, I thought it was one of those silent creeps I could just let out. And it came out a little watery. And I was like, oh man. Then people started saying, "What's that smell?" And people was like asking, I was like, "I don't know, man." And I'm sitting in there sitting on about an ounce of brown water. And I'm like, "Dang, man, I'm gonna clean this up, bro." That was probably the most embarrassing moment. I was like,
you had some of that boo-boo Kool-Aid.
I thought I was gonna let it out. It's gonna be a nice little smooth because it's on hardwood chairs. I didn't want to make no sound. I didn't want to make that but I wanted to let it out. And it didn't come out that way. It went bad. And the room started catching it. I saw two people start looking kind of crazy. And then I was like, oh man, okay. I think they smell it. I had to go there. I had jeans on. I had to throw my drawers away. So all day I had jeans on behind all day. It was worse.
It was your first experience of free balling.
Yeah. Dirty free balling too. I had to go in the bathroom, get them carpet towels. Work, yeah.
Most of that looked like it was personal to you, man. You stopped shopping and all, man.
I wanted to hug him, man.
Heartfelt, man.
Can y'all hear me?
I can. Yeah. What were your thoughts on that, man? So a loop or once a day?
Oh, me? I mean, my most embarrassing moment, I was an athlete in school. I ran a 4.49, I was a beast off that line, I was a beast. And I was playing football. I'm from New Bern. We went to state championship twice. We was a football school. I'm on special teams, right? I was on the outside. Outside dude was the gunner. That's the dude who's supposed to get to the man first. I'm running 4.49, y'all. I know I'm about to take off. This homecoming. They kick the ball. I take off. Bat out of hell. Boom. It was a blur. I just remember I'm in front of every. You can tell when you win the race. I'm in front of everybody. I'm winning. I said, yo, I'm about to take this dude. I'm going to knock this dude helmet off. This is about to be some TV slow motion type of stuff. I'm excited. But as I got to him, I noticed that he was a grown ass man. Like he was like, no, he was like 6'9", 2'8". Like he was a grown ass man, and I was like, I weigh like 165, dog. I was little. I was skin and bones. I was fast, and I did what anybody would do in that situation. I ran past him. I just ran past him. I ran straight in front of a sold out crowd at high school. I ran straight past him, bro. To this day, and I'm not embarrassed about it because I could have died. But if somebody might see it, somebody from outside looking in might feel like that's an embarrassing moment. But my legs still work, my arms still work. So in my eyes, I don't know what he's doing right now. I don't think he's in the NFL, so I don't care. That was my moment, bro.
They talk about taking one for the team. You said not today, huh?
Yeah, no, because they said had scouts out there. That might be why I'm in the league right now, but I ain't in the wheelchair neither. So hey, roll the dice. Roll the dice. Good. But I definitely take that.
Glad to give up that Al Bundy moment for the use of your legs.
But nothing I could do. Sometimes I think about it, bro. But then I'm like, nah. Football. Yeah, football hurt, man. Football hurt.
What about you, Brandy? What are your thoughts? Once a month, 1 hour loop, every month, or once a day for the rest of your life?
I'd say once a month, every hour. I mean, now that I think about it, it's not so bad anymore. But in that moment, it was horrible because my friends wouldn't let it go. So one day we were at the beach. I grew up by the beach, and my titty had fell out the cup of my bra, and I didn't know it. And so my nipple was like out, but you could see it through. And so they was like lifting the cup, like lifting their shirts of dudes now talking about some like lifting they shirt up like they got a bra on, like telling me to put my titty back. And they would just keep mocking me, bruh, for like days and days. I mean, like years. Even now, they still talk about it. That was embarrassing. Because I thought I was cute that day. For real. For real. Like what?
Genius, I was gonna let you have that one, man. All kind of yeah. But
I already catch it all the way. I was like, hold on, yeah. So they still talk about the boob 10 years later?
Huh?
They still talk about your boob 10 years later? They still talk about it?
Yeah, bro.
For those that are just checking in, man, we've got the comments with Laugh Out Loud Mondays. We've got the host with the most, Genius Jones. We've got one of our openers, Brandy Roberts, and we got the headliner, Mr. Musa. Now, Musa runs past people, and he saw the man was grown, man. I really can't get mad at you about that, man. I really can't, man. I played football too, man, and that could have probably ended bad. So I could see that, man. So
yeah, you done ran somebody full speed, and it ain't fun. It ain't fun at all.
Troy, you ain't sympathizing with me about my shirt.
I've had a few sharp moments too, man. So I can really. I can empathize with that one as well. Yeah, wasn't in the middle of class, but nonetheless, I feel
you, brother.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we certainly appreciate you guys, man. We look forward to December the 21st, man. Laugh Out Loud Mondays, man. For those that haven't bought tickets already, go to Eventbrite now, man. We look forward to having you guys the Monday of Christmas week. We're gonna change the way that we look at Mondays, put a little laughter back in the atmosphere, a little love in the atmosphere. So please come out to Tony's Taps and Oyster. Come check out Brandy Roberts, my man Musa, Genius Jones, and Eric Sassano. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, man, you enjoy your food line. I don't know what you cooking, Musa, but I hope it's good because she waited probably about 30 minutes and now you're standing there. So, yeah,
I'm gonna tell her, yo, y'all the reason she ain't eating right now. I'm saying, man, I'm trying to hurry up.
But don't let me be the reason. Don't try to play this back and go on YouTube. Be like, look, baby, this is why. Anyway, man, I love and appreciate you guys. Y'all be safe, man. Take care.
All right, y'all.
Yeah, for sure, man. I certainly look forward to the 21st, man. That's going to be good. Fellas, I'm also excited about this month's topic of conversation, man. You know, obviously we got the rehash tonight, but we got two nights in a row and 2 Sundays in a row. We'll be chopping it up about the Promised Land. It's a plot of land off Rock Quarry Road in Southeast Raleigh, North Carolina. This land is home to the Southeast Raleigh YMCA, also to the Southeast Raleigh Elementary School. And we'll be talking to some key stakeholders that form together almost like Voltron or Transformers to create an ecosystem of learning, living, and physical activity. They'll also share the experience of developing this dream into a reality, some of the operations through the pandemic, the milestones thus far, and the future for Promise Beacon Circle in Southeast Raleigh, North Carolina. For part 1 of this conversation, we'll have Dexter Hubert. Dexter Hubert is the Executive Branch Director of the Southeast Raleigh YMCA. We'll also have Principal Cheryl Finner. She's the principal of Southeast Raleigh Elementary. Now, for part 2 of this conversation, we'll have Kia Baker, who's the executive director of the Southeast Raleigh Promise, as well as a few of the young people that have taken part in some of the leadership development and community service initiatives brought forth by the Southeast Raleigh Promise. So set your alarm, Siri, Alexis, and Google Home for Sunday, December the 13th at 6 p.m., live on our Facebook page, YM4C, or our YouTube channel, YM4C TV. Fellas, I always appreciate the dope night, man. Always good to chop it up with you guys, man. We always want to leave people with a little bit of positivity. And tonight comes from Albert Einstein. Albert wrote, "Never give up on what you really want to do. The person with big dreams is more powerful than the one with all the facts." It's your boy, Bro Troy, a.k.a. Mr. YM4C, and we are the Bro Code.